All right, so let me actually make another stream marker here. So the artifact we're going to be looking at is Linares Amulet. So with Linares Amulet, you get Linares Price. Okay, this is basically what's being called the Suicide Artifact. Basically, when you use the superpower, it takes the power, cost, and damage, and gain a stack of Offering, which increases your might by 2 or 3% per stack, up to 5 or 10 stacks for 6 seconds. Each additional stack increases the damage you take per cast and refreshes durations of stacks. Casting a finisher resets your Offering stacks and heals you for either 50% or 100% of the damage it deals. So this is definitely the Suicide Artifact. So what it's actually going to be doing is, like, this 5 stack is basically at rank 80 is where we get this first buff. So at rank 80, you are going to do 5 abilities, so you can get your 5 stacks of Offering, and you're going to get basically 10%. Okay, you're going to get 10% might buff from doing it, and that's also going to be taking away your health based off your power. So if we look at our loadout here, when I start doing this, it's going to be 97 damage is going to be done to me. The next one, 11,000 damage. Redirected Rage will actually take some of this damage that you're doing. So you could actually you could use a shield to soften some of the blow. And then, of course, another 11,000. And then for my combo power buddies out here, this is a little bit of a lie. So you're not really taking 7,700 damage. You're really taking more than that, because it should be taking damage, or using you should be taking damage for every combo. So we'll actually test that right now. So, yep. So yeah, so I took 3 shots of damage for each combo. Which, as far as I know, I think it's only usable by, it doesn't really count as 3 stacks. And that's also another thing, is like these freaking, they're putting us having stacks on here, but for God's sakes, we actually don't have anything like on the HUD or visually that we actually know is going on. I took a look at the forums. I didn't see any information about the combo powers, if they count as either 1 or 3 stacks, to be honest. But oh, that's actually one I'm missing too, is my finisher. So your finisher is what you'll desperately need. So I'm actually going to, I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to go off the loadout that I have on live for my Rage toon. Yeah, I think I got rid of, Relentless Anger, because I have Gone Eruption actually doing it for me. Okay, so let's go with, let's see, so this is going to be 1. So I'm definitely at the 5 mark, and of course the Sparring Target is going to heal you. So I didn't actually do any self-healing. The Sparring Target did it for me. So basically all the damage that was being done was myself. And the way to get your healing back is you have to use your finisher, which for me, because I use the Lamarck card, which is also on my loadout, my artifacts too, I like my Stacks of Doom. I do like it a lot. So the other artifact I'm using as well is Transformation, because that's one of the key DPS ones now. That crit is beast. Alright, so 1, 2. So actually, it looks like the combos actually do take each one. So the Sparring Target is kind of hard to actually test this upon because, again, Sparring Target's healing me. I definitely get, but it still gives you the idea of what's happening here is, again, you are taking damage and your might is also getting increased for it too. Now, I'm of course using the rank 80, which as we know that when it comes to the artifacts, rank 80 is no longer the minimum. Rank 80 will definitely get you into the regulars and you'll be okay, but the true benefit of these things is going to be 120. And this is where it's going to go with the player here. At rank 120, you get the buff for 100% of your you get heals for 100% of the damage it deals. Okay? So you're going to get 100% instead of the 50%. That's 120. At 160, you're going to get the 10 stack. So this is going to be an artifact, and I even think the other two as well is going to be 160 is going to be where that beauty is going to be. 120 usually you can get to 120 and your artifact is really just done. Like the strategist card, like 8 seconds is good. I mean, at 160 it doubles the proc chance. What else? Sword Shard. Yeah, I mean at 160 you get the 10% chance to for the cooldown. 120 you get 2 pets. That's actually still pretty good. So I mean 160 they are definitely pushing folks to get to rank 160 to get a real full benefit of this thing. Where at rank 200 instead the buff there is going to be 3% might instead of 2. So at rank 160 is going to be 20% might buff when and if you get the 10 stacks. You're not getting to 10 stacks without a healer, folks. You're just not. This is going to be an artifact that is going to be more useful in group and raid settings, especially raids. Your healers will not be your saving grace in this artifact. They will help you get by, and they may be able to help you get the 10 stacks, but you are not going to get there by yourself and even try to live. It's just not happening. At those 10 stacks, you're basically going to kill yourself, and you need to have a finisher. You might be even using that finisher at like 6, 7, or even 8 stacks. But there might be powers out there, especially when we get to the live, that you're going to get to the 10 very well. And luckily, I do have a 160 artifact that we're going to use here. And let's see. Just for shoots and giggles. Again, it's probably not one that's going to be useful in there, but when it comes to my play style, I actually do use my this rain chain a lot because of my Lamort card. So it's always in my rotation. We're going to see what it looks like going into the solo with this bad boy, so we can actually see it without the healing coming from the Sparring Target. Of course, everything dies super fast. And that's the thing, is like the stack is there for 6 seconds. So even if you're having to switch between mobs, you can use your finisher before that buff goes off to actually get some healing back. But that is the scary part about this too, is that your health is dwindling down ever so much, and one big hit is going to take care of it. This is probably not going to be an artifact that's going to be seen in Elite a lot, unless it's really in the hands of someone skilled enough.
Why do you still carry a camera?
You are literally a glass cannon, yeah. And that's the thing. And that's the thing is like you can heal yourself by just using your finisher. And of course, there's a lot of voices out there just going, this is going to be a wasted artifact. No one is going to use this. It's going to make the stress on the healers. It's not going to stress the healers out too much if you use your finisher. And the people who are claiming one that changed to like, only it needs to stop at 1% health. So it's like people who are just refusing to use their finisher for this artifact have to be the same people who just refuse to wear a mask when going outside. Like, it's not that difficult to just use your finisher. Like, it messes up my rotation. That's kind of what these artifacts do. The artifacts bring in a new playstyle, so you actually have to change up some stuff. This is bringing back Berserker for Rage, but DPS this time and all for powers. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull our guy here. Maybe I'm going to use my shield, which is already gone. The shield actually got eaten by all of it, by the stacks. Like, what? So if you notice the icons on the ground, you'll start off with just the swirl, which will be your 1 stack. When you get to 5 stacks, it's going to be the you'll see the eyes on the ground. That's when you get to 5. I'll probably need a healer's help to actually get to 10. Actually see what the graphic there looks like.
This doesn't look good for Luther. Who's his next of kin?
Alright, so let's pull him. Yeah, that could have been dangerous. So like I said, this is definitely not an artifact you want to use by yourself. Especially on this boss too. Yeah, he has a lot of crowd controlling, so that would be a definitely pain in the ass. What's going on, Machete? But I'm stubborn, so let's try it again. Oh, I was out of range. I did a little better that time. So yeah, so we'll take it off, but the test was valid. Now, like I said, it'll definitely be something to try out in an actual group setting. Let me put the strategist in. Really like how far artifacts have come in terms of the first ones being all stats, not individual playstyles and effects, which the first was severely lacking. Agreed, absolutely agreed. And actually, and still, some of the some of the first artifacts are actually still very useful to this day. Going that way. Yep. Out your fucking mind. Another thing on the ground that might be difficult to see if Warrior uses Souls of the Sea. So true.
I don't need this crap. I hate coming to Earth.
A hidden teleporter. Judging by the abundance of mace body spray in the air, Jimmy and Lois already found it. The teleporter's
Yeah,
on
hopefully
cooldown.
they actually
Lois
find
and
a way
Jimmy must-
to
Wait, you're in
decrease
trouble.
the
Take that
visual
teleporter as
on
soon as you
Souls of
can.
the Sea.
Lois and Jimmy in trouble?
But even like the
Let's
smart
do
warrior
Tuesday.
healers,
I'll
the
get
smart
the
warrior
Rage
healers
DPS
know
to
exactly
figure
what
out
to
that
do for Souls of the
teleporter
Sea
let you know
and
when
make
it's
sure
up
to
and running.
jump so
Word
Souls of the
warning,
Sea is
I'm
above
working with
everybody's
Harley
heads.
Quinn on a
So it's
provisional
not on the
basis. She
ground.
can be-
That's where the smart
But
warrior
she's
healers come
kinda
from, are far in between with the noobs. Because the noobs are the one who put it on the ground. Like, nope, you just gotta jump, cast it, and it's above our heads. Same with Circle of Protection. Same with Circle of Protection. Just jump and cast it. As long as you're underneath it or above it, you'll get the heals. So that in of a nutshell is in fact, is honestly the amulet. So I'll just see, just calling it Healing Rain. Healing Rain. Yeah. Yeah, right now I don't really have the patience, honestly, to go into a dungeon, to be honest. It'll probably definitely happen later this week. Probably this weekend. But Lanaea's Amulet is, again, it's on test server right now, so it can actually be tested. And the concept of it is actually still pretty cool, especially with it using the finisher. But this is where it really gets a little not frustrating, but it can get counterproductive. So when you're using the Lamart card, you want to use your finisher almost every time it's off of cooldown. You want to spam your finisher, and so you can get your stacks of doom. With using the Linares Amulet, it kind of it counters that a little bit, because you want to use your finisher at the right point of your stacks so you can get the max stacks possible, and you get your finisher to actually do the healing with you. So using both at the same time is almost counterproductive, but it just depends on where your focus wants to be. Do you want to use the Lamart card to still get stacks of doom on there and use the amulet? Just use the amulet first, and then the Lamart card is kind of second. Or if you want your stacks of doom to matter more, then learning this amulet might not be the thing for you, because you're going to be only getting about a couple of stacks here and there. So you're not going to get the full percentage. I mean, if you can get to 10 stacks super fast, and within, 6 seconds of my cooldown of... Shit, what the hell is my cooldown of Evasive Rain Chain? Evasive Rain Chain is like 6 seconds, but with the Lamart card, it actually brings it down a couple percent. So like around like 4 or 5-ish a little bit. So, I mean, you just have to get to 10 stacks, or even get to 6 stacks or something before you use it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I definitely like the aspect of it, but for the folks out there saying, and of course their opinion still matters too, but I'm definitely going to counter it where it doesn't need to change, where it's like you have to wait for a percentage and then you'll get your automatic heal. Just use a fucking finisher and just wear your mask outside. That's all it is. Guessing the third finisher artifact to make Lamart and Amulet fully synergize. that could possibly come down the road. You never know. I mean, they, again, both of them combined, they still synergize, but if you're using the amulet, you're not going to get your stacks of doom faster. And it just depends on if you want to get your 25 or if you can get to 70. And I mean, honestly, I've never also timed how many finishers I can do in a boss fight to even see if I get to 25 or even if I can even get to 70. And with my rotation on my tank, because I use Lamort card on my tank side, just to even get to the tank side, like, I mean, I'm using E-Chain off of every cooldown. I mean, I can only get E-Chain off 2 times in one cycle of severe punishment being on cooldown and on and off. So I mean, you start the fight with eviscerating chain and then pop severe punishment, and by the time you're ready to use to cancel severe punishment, eviscerating chain's already off of cooldown, so you cast it again. When severe punishment's off of cooldown, cast E-Chain again, severe punishment. So you can keep stacking it up a lot, but I just never really took the time to time how many times I actually use my finisher. Wouldn't that be fun? So let me just get rid of some of this. But are there any questions about the amulet? I mean, I know we didn't do like a hardcore look at the amulet, but I mean, it is pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be a lot of better people out there who will able to be actually theory crafting and looking at the stats and looking at all the stuff about it. But at least for me, like, I understand the concept, and at this point, it's going onto your power and looking to see how many stacks can you get, even in groups, before you actually start killing yourself. I know No Name did some great testing today, but I mean, I was even looking at him. It's like, man, we really need to get into an instance with this stuff to really see exactly how it's going to go, because it's easy to have a pocket healer right behind you on a sparring target, which I'm not downplaying No Name at all, by the way. I'm not downplaying him. I love the dude. But it's different from having a pocket healer and being on a sparring target and then actually going into an 8-man raid or 8-person raid, and you have 5 DPS players who are also using the amulet, and the healer's heals can only go to so many people. And at that point, it's really going to be a yell fest of players who are just going to go, what the fudge? Well, this healer sucks. Like, I'm only one person. It's like, you should be able to solo this. How many DPS are using the amulet? All 5 of them raise their hand. Well, there you go. You're going to have to rely on your own healing for it. You can get to a certain amount of stacking, but you're going to have to be knowledgeable on what you can do as a power, how many stacks you can get to, and you're going to have to use your finisher. You cannot always rely on the healer for this amulet. I think the healers will be able to actually get you along pretty well, especially after the 5 stack, but after that, like around that 6 and 7, you're going to need to pay attention and get your shit together and use a finisher to heal yourself. And at that moment, you just kind of have to look at your rotation. I mean, because it also depends on how many abilities you can use in your rotation before you have to reset. And that reset is your finisher. That finisher should be reset, and now we start the ability cycle, the rotation all over again. And that's probably the best way to look at it and see how many abilities can you do in your 6 or whatever, how many stacks can you get to before you need to reset and do your rotation over again. That's probably the best way to look at it. Great, more stress for healers. Can I get a heal over here? Heal yourself. Exactly, heal yourself. That's all I'm really hearing so far is like everyone who want to change to not be focused around the finisher, or people who don't want to use a finisher, and it's like, just use the finisher. Hey, just use your finisher and wear your mask outside. I'm almost seeing these like hand in hand, like the people who don't want to put a finisher on their loadout to help themselves, to heal themselves, are the people who just refuse to wear a mask. But anyways, any questions on the amulet before we move on to the lasso of truth? Because, I mean, I really do like this artifact, but I will agree with some folks on the forums. I think it's really going to be a niche. I don't think that we're actually going to see leaps and bounds of stats with it, because even fully stacked, I mean, at rank 200, you're looking at 5% health, 4% power, and 3% might. You know? So you're going to have to... It's not going to be something that's going to be stacked on the might side, because 3% is going to be the max. So easily, of course, there's going to be other artifacts that will give you better might. But that's just the might stat on the artifact. You get even at 200, at 10 stacks, that's 30% more might coming to you. Even at 6 stacks, that's 3 times 6. No, 3 times 9 is 18. How is that 18? I don't know math anymore. Okay, I got this. 3 and 12. Numbers! Yeah! Numbers! That's definitely going for YouTube. But even getting to, like I said, so the stacks happen for any power, not just finishers. Yes. Any ability that's actually, hold on. Yeah, any active ability that's actually attacking the person. So for my loadout, I have 3 abilities that will actually get me stacks. Technically, I have 6. Oh, actually, I gotta have 5. And the reason I have 5 is because Outrage, with your combos, Outrage does 3 hits. Those are 3 stacks automatically. I get 3 stacks from Outrage. Lacerate, I think, only does the 1 from the initial. I'm actually not wearing it. Hold on. No. I would never break my microphone. This is the good stuff. Let me put on my 160 version. Let me make sure it's... Yeah, so it's only when you use a power. So spam the lowest power cost attack for might stacks. That's one way to do it. But even remember this as well. Let me go to find. So at my level, just to show it, that's 3,800 damage that you're going to be taking. Even if you spam it. Where is my... Yeah. So I'll even put that on here. Rage Blast is my lowest one, and it's instant. And it's funny too because there's my 5 stacks. 7, 8. Alright, so let me come back here a bit. Like I missed time because I got a second set of eyes, so I think I actually hit. That's when I hit 10. But let's see. So we got. Here's our first stack. 2, 3, 4. There's our 5 stack. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, and 10 gives you a freaking grip. Gives you a grip. I just got healed like 34,000 health. Just from spamming my 100 power cost. If that's the way you want to live, I can't say no. It's gonna look weak as shit on your scoreboard, D, but it's not incorrect. So I mean, even look at the damage that I'm taking. Okay, look at the red. That's a 38. There's a 4,600. There's a 5,000. 5,800. 66. It's climbing up. 77. 89. 10,000. 14. And there's a 16,000. And you can keep going. Looks like it stops at 19,490. But look. And then, of course, There's my heal. Living on the edge. Living dangerously cheesy. I mean, yeah, you can live that dangerous cheesy life. I mean, you're definitely going to be getting hit with like 39,000 health. What am I even using here? My health is at 10,000. And let's see. What abilities do I have? I mean, that's a 200 at a 6-second cooldown. I mean, Ragebringer is an easy one to use too. Ooh, frenetic bombardment. That should be a good test to see what the fuck's gonna happen. Let's look. Ten stacks. Ten stacks, baby. Frenetic bombardment. And I already love that ability as it is. That right there is Rage's fastest ability to get to 10 stacks. There you go, Rage. There you go. Yeah, I literally am just looking at the red of all the damage I'm taking in right now. Because I'm not getting hit with the, oh, there we go, I killed myself. Hold on 1 second. So for Rage players out there, if you want to get the 10 stacks fast, Frenetic Bombardment will be your friend. Trex, would you will find a way to kill himself? Okay, so far everyone is. Everyone is getting killed by it, okay? It's not just me. Just saying, but I'm really okay, I'm a little happy about it. So even for a person who wants to spam 100 ability, at least we have a good spam 100 ability, you know? Like Frenetic Bombardment, I can honestly just be okay with it. Like shit. So let's see. Dying to the sparring target should be called the speed of Trek's light feet. Oh my god. Do not give maps that reason. Do not do it. Alright, I'm actually want to change it up. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna switch it over to what I would use for my ranged loadout. I think I did sacrifice my sacrifice that. Let me verify. So, Plasma Reg, Frenetic Bombardment here. I want to start the marketplace. And, oh yeah, I do channel hate. Let's actually take a look at this. So we got that. Damn, messed up. Messed up the rotation already. Hold on. Alright, so let's do this. Woo, buddy! I got the 10 stacks real quick. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. Shit! So what will happen with severe punishment? I can remember if it's the one that heals you when you take damage. Yes, it is. Actually, I remember No Name was actually testing that too, because Severe couldn't keep him alive. So let me do one more rotation real fast. And okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that can get dangerous. That can get dangerous real quick. So for severe punishment, we will get rid of channel hate because I'm actually not even using it right now. Okay, so I'll activate severe punishment. Go ahead and start. I definitely had to cancel it because that was going to hurt. Actually, I want to see how much damage it actually probably even does. Alright, so we got severe punishment. Sorry, my timing just wants me to cancel it. We're just going to do frenetic bombardment. We're just going to test that. Just to get the 10 stacks. Kill me. Damn it. I lived. Oh, let me take a look at the scoreboard. Oh, I see he picking me up. Oh, that's so nice. He's so gentle. Let's see here. My Dreadful Blast critted for 21k. Nice. Severe punishment heals for 13. Where is the severe punishment damage for 62,000? Let's come up here. Alright, so this is where we actually start. So frenetic bombardment right there. Severe punishment heal for 32. Because the damage is coming from the amulet. Damage number for 2023, 27. Heals for 35. Damage for 89. Oh my god, it's such a fucking jump. Where did that number come from? Is it because of that? Oh my god, I hope not. Good god. Yes, woof, that was woo. And that was woo. That's what that was. And where is severe punishment? Still heals for 10,000, healed for 13, and then damage me for 62,000 health, or damage rather. When you're in a raid and the guy's top DPS because he keeps draining his health to amulet. I mean, that's basically the way it's gonna go. Excuse me again. Thank you. All right. Let's try severe again. 10 stack. Keeping going. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it. Because that's the thing, because Sparring Target's gonna continuously always heal me. And they will blame the healer. That's right, they will. Absolutely. Folks that are coming in using the amulet, not one person using the amulet better blame the healer. They better not. The purpose of the amulet and how it's functioned is to be the player's responsibility using it. The person who is using it is in charge of their own healing because they have an ability that gives them heals. Even if it's 50% of the heals, it's still healing. So I will not stand for a healer to be blamed for folks using the artifact. Or using the amulet. Not a damn one. Not a damn one. Also, it's kind of hard to determine how well it's doing in the scorecard. So they're actually looking at splitting the amulet damage, your self damage, so it actually doesn't show up. Weird. Yo, bro, do you not see my DPS? I'm carrying you all. Yet he died 20 times to ads before the raid boss. And this is probably something that's going to be more inclined for single target DPS, not really AoE. But honestly, I myself as a player am not going to say that it's not AoE based. That's not going to benefit AoE players because I haven't done that yet. I am using single target damage here. Or a loadout rather, but I mean, I would have to jump onto probably my electric DPS to actually see what AoE would actually look like. Yeah, sure, just like DPS blaming controllers, not giving them power after they spam all their power in the first 3 seconds. Exactly. What up, Ninja? What up, dude? Look at this. I'm gonna kill myself. Whee! Healed. So the artifact Jareth does this. And this is at rank 60, 160 is what we're looking at. So you, every time you use a superpower, take its power cost in damage, and you gain a stack of offering, okay? The offering buff gives you 2% per stack up to 5 or 10. Right now we're at 10, 2% for 10%. So if we can get to 10 stacks, we are getting 20% might buff. That's what we're doing if we can get to 10 stacks. And it stops at 10 for 6 seconds. For each stack that increases the damage you take per cast and refreshes the duration of the stacks. Okay? So each time you're using an ability, you're going to get damaged. And it's going to just keep stacking up all the time. When you cast a finisher, it's going to reset the offering stacks, and it's going to heal you by, at 160, 100% of the damage that it deals. Okay? So you are basically sacrificing your own health to get higher might, damage. And your finisher will heal you of the damage that you do. All right? So you're going to get healed. All right? It's definitely going to be a DPS blaming healer moment. The DPS now have a reason to blame not just the controllers, but they're going to blame the healers even more because they're going to use this amulet, they're going to use this artifact, and they're going to fuck it up. All right? They're going to fuck it up. Let me get a drink. But it's cool. So we found the Frenetic Bombardment can get us to 10 stacks very quickly, not immediately kill us. And even as a Rage DPS, every time I do, if I DPS on a raid, it's going to be range. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be kind of cool. Ooh, I just thought of that. I'm not drowning, you're drowning. I just thought about that ability too. So, Rage... in melee, we have another ability that kind of does that same maneuver. Where's Frenzy? Hey, buddy. Let me see. That's my melee button. So we're gonna move Frenzy right over here. Now, Frenzy is a 150 power cost base, okay? But when we use Frenzy, we're going to take 5,800 damage. But it also has combos with it too, so we're going to take even more. So immediately with Frenzy, with one Frenzy, I can get to 6 stacks. And I just have to then use 4 other abilities, you know? So let's actually see what Frenzy is going to do. I didn't keep my time. I was about to say the earth looked really black out there. That was so that was 30 hits. What is that? 270,000 damage. And see, it says 2 targets. That's because I was the second target. That's where it kind of needs to split a bit. But yeah. Wait, what's the fire finisher? I didn't even know fire had a finish. Wait, what is fire's finisher? Spontaneous combustion. Hey, babe. Damn. She told me to figure it out because I'm a fire trader. Pretty sure it's spontaneous combustion, I think? Are you gonna help or are you gonna hurt? Are you gonna help me or are you gonna hurt? Can you tell me what the finisher is? Damn it! I can't remember. I'll have to switch over to fire to figure it out. Now the trick getting people to change their loadout to have a finisher in it. Honestly, I think most people are probably using a finisher in their stuff nowadays. Like, even when you come to most of the DPS videos coming out there, a lot of folks are saying use a finisher. And I think they're even using the Lamart card. I think everyone's saying use all 3 cards. If you're single target DPS, rather. Single target DPS uses the cards. All right, let's look at this again. Snuff out. You're right. Snuff out is that's it. Snuff out. That's the key. That's the juice. And see, at least you would think the amulet would actually tell you how much you got healed. Well, let's see. So let's use Frenzy again. There it is. So the amulet does tell you when you get healed. Well, Sparring Target's definitely keeping me alive. And that's just me spamming Frenzy. So I think Rage is going to be doing pretty well. We have... will Linares Amulet get Frenzy to actually be viable in loadouts? You know what? Let me actually create a... I have to back out so I can make change my loadout. I wonder. For this experiment, I'm actually going to was like at one. Yeah. We'll put Gallon Eruption in. Actually, let me use Violence instead. I'd rather use Violence. I'm not going to use Redirected Rage. Redirected Rage again. You can use your shield in your loadout to absorb some of that damage. Because, you know, I mean, you all know me with my DPS loadouts. I love using the shield. Even if it's going to be blown away in like one hit, at least it's something to protect myself. So you can at least use your shield to kind of soften the blow a bit. We'll put Lacerate. Yeah, because I need E-Chain there. Lacerate and then Outrage. Alright, so let's see. Because Violence is going to be 1. Outrage, so 1. Outrage will be 3, so that's 4. Lacerate. Lacerate will be 5. And then I can get Frenzy stacks. And then I should be able to use my Eviscerating Chain. So let's move some shit around, because that's the stack of mindset that I want to have. So we start off with Frenzy. We go into Outrage. I'm going to change it here because Outrage uses melee. Then we get Lacerate. So it's going to start off with Violence, Outrage, go into Lacerate, and then Frenzy, and then Eviscerating Chain. But Warrior Shield gets negated if another healer uses a shield, so they cannot use theirs, which is also a chance damage for them. I'll put that in the devs here again. I'll send a message to the developers about that, because I do remember, which healer shield was it? Was it actually Bubble? And also, wasn't Bubble only a crit, increased like the crit, I think it was, for only water, or did it actually do it for anyone who got into the Bubble shield? Because I also want to make sure I get the right shield to let them know it's like this is the one that's not doing anything. So Bubble, okay. Okay, so Bubble gets negated if another healer uses their shield. Is it that the shield gets negated, or is the buff that gets negated? Either way, I'll talk to them. Maybe I'll talk to see if I can talk to any of my war friends and see if they can help me out and figure it out. Okay, so we got our loadout. So we're gonna try this out, all right? Outrage. We're gonna use Violence first. Go into Outrage, so that's gonna be 4 stacks. Lacerate's going to be number 5. So we get our 5 stacks there. Frenzy's going to give us our other 5, and then we're going to drop in and give Eviscerating Chain. Now again, Sparring Target is going to fuck us by actually healing us. So just keep that in mind. So we'll go Violence. Here we go. Oh, I used the wrong ability. Sorry, I reset. That is just shit when it comes to me. Both the other healer powers don't lose their shield or DPS as well. Okay. Sorry, Lacerate's always been my A button. So it was me like hitting A immediately instead of B. So that's gonna... Alright, I got this. Get my Violence. Shit. And of course the healing is pretty shit. Alright, let's see. Let's try this again. I'll wait the 6 seconds or so for things to actually move out the way. Alright, so we got violence. Oh, I just got to 11 stacks. Let's wait the 30 seconds and see what that was. Problem is, like, the damage that's being done to me is also being shown inside that damage too. So you would have to go through like that 521,000 that I just did. It's also including the damage that the amulet's doing to me. So you have to calculate all that crap out. Do all DPS powers only get one? Everyone has one finisher, and everyone's finisher is a single target finisher. That's why when you see like the word finisher in this for this artifact, folks immediately go, this is going to be a single target artifact. Again, I haven't tested what it looks like in AoE, so I can't say it's not going to work for AoE. You'll be able to get your stacks done for AoE, but all it is just your finisher to reset your heal, to reset everything and to get your heal back. Only your finisher is single target. You can probably still use AoE abilities just fine. Alright, let's try this again. Now, the other way to look at this, too, is I don't need to use Lacerate immediately. Or even Lacerate could even be like the first ability I use. So, with this kind of loadout, you want to get your stacks out fast. Okay? That's where you want to go. You want your stacks out fast. Lacerate hinders you. That's actually hindering our process right now. Lacerate, you get one stack from it, but the other hits that's doing is not going to be anything. You know, so Lacerate is basically at our stopping point for our stacks so we can actually go back and use Frenzy. So it's either use Lacerate almost like the first ability after Violence, or we use it at the end before we hit Eviscerating Chain, or we just don't use Lacerate at all. Can we actually have a Rage loadout that doesn't use Lacerate just so we can get to those 10 stacks? And even then, like, the 10 stack is, when you get to that point, to that 10 stack, you could almost use Outrage, start off with Frenzy, and then use Outrage as your big hits at the end. But you could also probably be killing yourself much faster, because at that point in those, I know, it's no Lacerate. What the fuck? But using Outrage at the very end of those stacks is going to severely hurt, because that's your large hit ability, and that's going to hurt when it comes to what your healing done. So substitute Lacerate with Whirling Dervish? No, fuck that. I don't know. I barely use Iconics as it is. I'm not using Whirling Dervish. My whole thing is Iconics are a fucking crutch, as I say this when I want to go use Lasso of Truth, but I use my abilities in my power. I mean, I already hate myself having to use amplified heat vision, but I mean, you can't hate it. It does a great job, but no, I don't use my movement abilities at all. I'd rather go what's actually in my powers tool set. Exactly. I'm keeping my ring. I'm keeping it. Bloodlust, get that dot damage. Bloodlust doesn't do dot damage. It's a weapon buff. You want dot damage, you are looking at Severe Punishment. No, not that one. Severe Punishment in DPS form gives off a dot, but it's like, nah. I mean, it's again, it's another. Oh, you want Gall and Eruption? That's what you want. Gall Eruption would basically just be another... Gall Eruption and Violence are doing the same thing. They're doing my dot damage. The only difference is with Violence, I'm sacrificing damage for mobility. Because Violence is like a 200 base ability, Gall Eruption 300. So I'm losing a little bit of damage. But Gall Eruption is a point-blank AoE, where Violence is a aura that travels with me. So I can do dot damage as I'm traveling. Of course, it doesn't really help here in this test, but like... I mean, Severe Punishment is probably not a bad idea to go with either. It just depends in that 8 seconds before I crash, because I'm taking damage from myself. I'm going to get a rage crash if I don't cancel it. So that's me in 8 seconds standing in the spotlight looking for my religion. Am I the old guy in the room? Just wanting to just play in the field. All right, just testing the waters. That's all I am. Severe Punishment will get us 1 stack because it admittedly does the initial dot. It'll do the initial damage. So it'll get us 1 stack initially. So it could be getting us there quicker, and it gives us a little more protection. So fuck it. Why not? Let's try it out. So we'll replace Lacerate with Severe Punishment. Ooh, actually, I can probably clip it, too. Oh, actually, I think I can clip it. Hey, Witcher, what's going on? Wow, Raph. Don't be throwing food. No food. Shoot, actually, let me come over here. I want to test to make sure. Did he kill that sparring target? Okay. I think he just killed that sparring target. Yes, I can. Oop, I got clipping. Sweet. Wow. Oh, well, it definitely damaged me 2 times. 1 for Violence, 1 for Severe, and then Severe Punishment immediately healed me. Yay! Thanks, Severe Punishment. So we can even clip it. So we get instantly, basically in 1 second, we get 2 stacks immediately. So that means I get 2 stacks right there. I can go right into Outrage, but I'm not. So we get 2 stacks there. We're going to go for 6 for Frenzy, and then we're going to go for 3 with Outrage. So Outrage on its very last hit, which is like the big hitter, is going to have 9 stacks. Thanks, Insect Form. All right, so we're going to clip Violence with Severe, go into Frenzy, then go into Outrage, and then Eviscerate and Chain. Okay. All right, let's do it. Woohoo! Actually, I just want to see how well that did. So okay, so Severe Punishment is helping a little bit, and this is also what you have to remember with the Eviscerate and Chain. It's a 2-hit finisher. Okay, it's a 2-hitter. So your first one, I'm not gonna say it like it splits the finisher damage. It probably doesn't. I don't really know. I can't really figure it out. But with Eviscerate and Chain, it's a 2-hit, so it's a combo. So you have to. If the finisher actually gave stacks, it would be basically 2 stacks. But even with the heals from Sparring Target, let's see the garbage that it does. I definitely crashed. What did I get rage crashed from? Severe Punishment damaged me for 87,000 damage. Well, sir. That. Cancel it. Don't get greedy. Cancel it. So basically in your 8 seconds, shit, even in my 8 seconds, because that was 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't do math very well. I miscounted because It's 2 hits from Violence and Severe Punishment, 6 hits from, actually, I think it's 7 from Frenzy. I forget the initial cast. The initial cast is my 3. That is my 3rd hit. 6 more gives me 9, and I start Outrage with 10 stacks. But in that instance, if you get stunned, you are dead. I am fucking dead. I am absolutely dead. Tanks, you're gonna need to use your group breakout often. Okay? Breakouts often. There's probably tanks out there who don't run with it. As a rage tank, I use it all the time. For this, you're gonna need to use it. The DPS can't stop. They're gonna need that shit. They're never gonna use it. Okay, so I think okay, so let's try this again. So it's 1-2. It's 1-2, then 3 to 9 stacks, and I start Outrage with 10 exactly. So as soon as I hit Outrage, I'm at 10 stacks. 2 more hits are at the 10 stack mark, so I get 20% might buff. Okay, let's do it. Yep, there's 10. Wow, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it. I have a 8-second rotation. I have an 8-second rotation for Amulet. I love it. I love it. And it gives me to use Frenzy. Now, of course, the damage is going to be really shit, most likely. I mean, I'm using Outrage as basically my big hitter. Whoop, whoop. So we're going to have to reset. So as I said, the reset is your finisher. That kind of resets your timer for everything, okay? The problem is to restart the rotation, it's Violence and Severe Punishment again. Well, as soon as I hit my finisher, both of them are still on cooldown. So I can start using Frenzy, and then when my Frenzy is done, I clip into those 2, and then I'm at my 10 stacks again right when I hit Outrage. So that's what we're going to do now. I think we have the loadout and the timing for the initial rotation. Now we need to do the next rotation after. That's what we have to work on next. Yeah, love this loadout. Let me actually make a stream marker. All right, so this is a loadout with our Frenzy. All right, so let's see. So we're gonna clip Frenzy. Going to Outrage. I mistimed. Now we're gonna keep going. Ooh, fuck. Okay, so the re-rotation we have to kind of work on. Needs a little and polish. Look at Sheriff. Melee DPS do not melee the boss. Please dies instantly. Okay, very true. Very true. But this at least gives you a look. For anyone who wants to try and do it, like, this is at least gives folks a look to see what a melee loadout could look like. Because with these artifacts, they change your gameplay. They change your styles a little bit. I mean, and again, Lacerate and Outrage are 2 big hitters when it comes to Rage melee DPS. So now you have to kind of change it up a bit when wanting to use this, because it wasn't working. Because like I said, Lacerate does great damage, but Lacerate kind of needs to be your end move, because you have that 10 stacks. You get that at 160 again. You get that at 10 stacks. You get that 20% might buff. So Lacerate being your last ability, being that 10 stacker, is going to do some great damage. You're only going to get that 1 stack that one time, so you're going to get damaged that one time. Outrage, as we just saw, makes it a little bit more dangerous, because it's not just one ability, it's 3 more it's 3 attacks total that you could kill yourself. I look, and I saw a certain death beyond the landscape. Yeah. All right, so let's, so again, so just to restart the rotation, I started off with Frenzy, and the way in Frenzy was going, everything was still on cooldown. So, that was, this was, to start the rotation over again is going to be a little bit rough, to say the least. And again, I'm doing this not even using my Soda Cola, okay? And you can only use your Soda Cola like one time. Danger's my middle name. That's right. Mine's Francis. All right. So, okay, so we're going to clip it and go into Frenzy. Go into Outrage. There's my 10 stack. Cancel it. Go into Frenzy again. Go ahead and get our 2. I saw it coming. I saw it coming. I couldn't get my 3rd Outrage. I knew it was coming. How much did Amulet? Let's see. The Amulet damaged me for 29, and then there's the 21 that I got knocked out for. Yeah. Yeah. So where I got knocked out, it was the Amulet damaged me for 21k, where the extra measure did 15k. That's where I got hit. That's where I got hit. Okay, so that does get a little bit of a stinker. So, you can't die from a sparring target. Trex, hold my Gatorade. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay. So, and again, of course, when you're on a sparring target, it's completely different when you're actually in combat with everything going, with moving, rearranging, it's all there. So of course, this might be a loadout that's good on a sparring target, but of course, it's in actual practical use, it's going to be completely different. But I like the loadout that we have. On paper, the loadout gets me to 10 stacks quickly, even, and severe punishment actually helps me heal up a bit. So it does keep me healed up, and I can cancel it with Eviscerate and Chain. So with this kind of loadout, the Lamarck card is not working. It just will not work. Because again, with the Lamarck card, you want to do Doom stacks all the time. And with this, the finisher is going to reset, so you really don't want to use your finisher until you're at that perfect stack. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and we're going to put the strategist card on. Another good one to use even would be the Tetrahedron of Urgend, basically because how well it has great health and might to it. Whereas this one's basically just good across the board. Actually, you know what? I'm not looking at the damage per se. But I mean, I even know that even like Tetrahedron of Urgend is, folks are definitely sleeping on it. Don't sleep on it too long. Dave, what's up, brother? Thank you so much, buddy. 22 months. Yeah. Dave, good news. You're healing Trex from now on. Okay, Dave, don't freak out, okay? You were watching No Name this morning. We were both watching No Name this morning about this artifact. So you already know what's happening. But don't freak out, okay? All right. So, clip in here, going to Frenzy. Here's my 10 stack. Refreshing it. Going to Frenzy again. We'll go into Outrage. Frenzy again. And there's my power. and I'll just live with that. So that was actually the best rotation that we've done with this thing. Ah, thanks, brother. Wait, so what artifacts were you using first versus now? Before, I was using... The only difference was I was using the Lamarck card, and I just put on the Strategist. That's the only difference here. This whole time, I've been using the 160 Amulet. So I haven't even been using the 200 rank to get the 3% per stack. I've really just been here at a 2% with 100% health, healing back. But I put on the Strategist card so I can, get a little extra oomph. Just a little oomph. I have not used Solar Amplifier. The only reason I would use Solar Amplifier is to be foul. I mean, the might buff is definitely still there, but I would rather use that if I was using solar heat vision. If I was using heat vision, I would want to use Solar Amplifier. I would honestly probably put Tetrahedron of Ergen in on this ability right now. But at the moment, it's hard to determine the damage portion because like the damage being done here is also including my numbers as well that's being done to me. So it's not really including the damage I'm doing to the sparring target. It's also including the damage done to myself. So they still have to split that. Is it only for powers or for stacks, not weapons? It's for powers only. Because the stacking happens when you use an ability that has a power cost. Because that's where the stacking happens. The power cost that you use for an ability, like for my Frenzy, first initial one's 3,800. I get 3,800 damage done, and that's where my stack is. Using weapons, this is going to be a straight might artifact. It's not going to be for precision. I want to go to that rotation one more time. I like that. Hey, Humbled. Yes, I play on US PC. Right now, we're on the PC test server. All right, so let's try this one more time. All right. Ooh, that was fast. That was too fast. I'm not gonna say I got greedy, but I think I got a little greedy. The weapon buff should not work. Well, actually, no. I'll take that back. Let me look. The weapon buff will work. The weapon buff itself will give you one stack. So anything in your loadout bar that will well, that's weird because you know what? I think I did wrong. If I was up on the boss, nope. So I guess shields are not. Well, I don't think... No, it didn't give me a stack. Oh, it did give me a stack. Okay, so shields will give you a stack. Yeah, so anything on the loadout bar then. As long as it hits the target, it will actually give it to you. Wait. So a healing power on DPS loadout offset the damage. You mean for abilities that are healers, like Celestial, Sorcery, and all that, D? Is that what you're wondering? Because the healing power will definitely give you a stack. Will give you a stack. So if I'm away from the target, yeah. So it's anything on the loadout bar. Yeah. So anything on the loadout bar will give you a stack. We'll give you a stack of might. Or stack of offering, rather, which will also give you that. DST quit hybriding. I definitely think, like, this Saturday, we'll have to actually sit through and go through all the powers and actually look and see what we could do. Like, that would heal, but damage, so you take no damage or almost none. No, you're going to... So let's look at... So Celestial would be the power for this a little bit. Even Electric's Arc Lightning. You could essentially out-heal some of the damage. You know? You may be able... Like with Arc Lightning, because I know some people in DPS use Arc Lightning. Arc Lightning's heal... To heal yourself may... Ire... Okay, so Ire as well. Let's actually take a look at that then. You're right. Ire would do the same thing. Shit, even Remorseless Recovery. I could put Remorseless Recovery on so I could actually heal myself on top. Wow, that would fucking open up things, wouldn't it? Come here, Bubba. So let's take a look at this. So, Ire. 7,700 and... I didn't actually get healed. I think Ire requires me to actually get hit. Oh, I would actually have to take some damage first. Because it's not... Because I'm going to get the damage... Yeah, it's not actually clicking in yet. Because it still sees me as full health. And then... So it must be like the heal happens and then the damage. Instead of the damage first. Let me save this loadout real fast. Shit, what the fuck was the first power? Outrage. Battle tank for Rage. Whew. We would definitely have to open that King of the Worms on Saturday. So for this test, let's try this again with that. Frenzy. There's my 10. Okay. I messed up the rotation because I realized that those two abilities were ready to go and I didn't use them. Now, I will say that I think some fire players on test were actually using this. Were using the amulet with their stuff, and they were just not getting hit. They were just completely strong. And we may jump when we jump on my tank Ember. We may take a look at that too. All right, let's try this again. Let's go open up a Frenzy. Now that starts our new rotation. Oh, and I'm out of power. That was almost like a full 30 seconds too. Whew. I never really go almost like a full 30 seconds with like no power coming back, or with keeping the full power bar like that. That's rare to say the least. Let's try this again. Oh, I'll wait for it to reset. There. All right, so let's try this again. There's my 5 stack. Woo, shit! There's 1. There's 5. Goes out of my power. Yeah, full 30 seconds of basically from full to empty for 30 seconds? What? And let me also request this as well. If you guys actually have like for unknown, like atomic want to see what the atomic tanking does with the amulet. If you guys can go on Discord, I think we have a test server function. Or at least even in the source cast. We don't really, yeah, we have a test server. So if you either go to either the Crash Core Discord, ours, or the DCUO Source Wall Discord, if you type in what build you want to see, like the power and what artifact, I'll make sure to keep that written down, and we'll test those on the stream on Saturday. So we can actually see what's really, how those really work out. Because, I mean, at the same time, if someone can also write that down and put them in Discord, that'd be great. Because I'm not going to remember everything to test. I know, like, for Fire and the Amulet, we could check that out. Atomic, especially, because that's always been a power-hungry power, so we could see how well that does. But, alright, so, when you restart the rotation, it gets a little funky. So I can get, yeah, so I'm basically getting 6 stacks from Frenzy after the reset, and then I can go into Outrage to get 9. And then I'm basically, I guess I could hit Outrage one more time to get the base of it. Yeah, let's see if I can get, so it'll be, after I hit the Eviscerate and Chain, we need to do Frenzy, and then Outrage, and then Outrage again, and then Eviscerate and Chain. And then 2 and 3 should be off of cooldown. Hold on, so if you use this artifact with the Everyman Tank Trinket, and with Manacles proc off of Amulet. Huh. You know, I think Manacles technically should proc off of this. I think it should. It's damage you're taking in. So Manacles may... Fuck. What's up, James? Right now we're on the test server looking at the brand new episode 38 artifacts. We're right now looking at the Linares Amulet, which is basically quote unquote a suicide artifact. So the abilities on your loadout, the power cost it costs for them, you take the damage for, but you also gain stacks per every time you use an ability, and those stacks increase your might by a percentage. And yes, Nubia, she'll be joining episode 38, Wonderverse, as the Council of Wonder Woman. And she's more Peruvian than black, but that's just, you know, she's Peruvian. Starks digging graves for DPS. Yep, here, yep, let's go ahead and... Alright, so let's try this again. So, after we do Eviscerate and Chain, we're going to do Frenzy, Outrage again, because that'll be another 10 stacks, and then we're going to use Eviscerate and Chain to clear it. She's Amazonian, that's all Trex, or made from clay, either or. No, Nubia, I thought she was actually from Peru. She's Peruvian. Not just Amazonian, I guess. She's actually Peruvian. I think that's what the storyline was. Someone told me. It was like, okay, you know more about Nubia than I do, so I'm just going to go with it. That's completely fine. All right, so let's try this. There's our 6. Where I messed that number up. Alright, so we cannot do that. Oof. Oh, that's right. Wonder Woman's long-lost twin sister. That's right. Well, hold on. Is that from Earth? That's in Earth 1. This is Nubia from Earth 23, so I think she might have a different origin. Yeah, it's basically still the same power. She's still a Wonder Woman. It's still Wonder Woman, just not Diana. Okay, so let's try this again because I think I miscounted somewhere. So we got these. Here's my 10. Oh shit. Okay. So I did it myself. There you go, D. Take the reins. Yeah, Earth 1 is Earth Prime. That's us. That's basically us. Until you go to the darkest timeline, which is basically Crime Syndicate Earth 3. But don't tell them I said that. Yeah, Dave, you're going to heal my DPS. Look how much fun we're having. I promise to behave. If you had 7 healers. It takes 7 healers to heal tracks, but look how much damage I'm doing. Oh, that's right. Before Crisis on Infinite Earths, yeah. So it's funky. I don't want to think too hard. If you had 7 healers, in theory, would it keep stacking? It would. As you can see, like the Sparring Target is technically keeping me up, but even if I had like one pocket healer behind me, I could essentially keep going, but it only happens to a point because the damage that you're doing, even from those stacks, are going to go over your health. Okay, it will go above. So don't come into the aspect of like I get 10 stacks, I got 2 great healers in this raid, it's working out pretty well. Those healers, remember, those heals are not always going to hit you. So even at 10 stacks, trying to go like and even use that 10 stacks for an extra couple of abilities, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. Or one Unohano. Oh, you know I need that, Captain. Yeah. When the new consoles come, this game better be crossplay. You better hope Sony is okay with it. That's a whole Sony ballpark right there. This time again. I'm definitely wrecking my numbers because 1, 2, and then 7 should get me to 9 with Frenzy. And because then at 10 should be Outrage, and that's where I should get the buff. So Extra Measure and then Outrage again should be at the 10 stacks before I use Eviscerating Chain. I want to be a Super Saiyan. I want to. Can the artifact kill you or just drop you down to 1 health? Oh, James. It can kill you. It can kill you. It can kill you, and the saving grace that you need to even it also get healed back would be your finisher. That's what you have to use as your finisher to heal yourself back. It's hard to see it right now because I'm with the Sparring Target, and the Sparring Target loves to heal me back. It's like, fuck, stop healing me, dude. I want to die. I mean, I don't want to die. I just want to do stuff. So, let's try this here. Because I can show you where I die. So I died. I should have. Technically I should have used my eviscerating chain before I used outrage, but yeah. This is honestly just where players are going to have to trial and error it, but they also are going to need to look at their loadouts and see exactly how to make it happen. I love the fact that this might not be, of course, the most optimal loadout possible, but this is also the fastest loadout to get to your stacks. And I am a little okay with that because it puts Frenzy into the market. He's going to show us where he died. If there's a way to die, Trex will find it. Alright, so let's try this again. The extra measure gives me that, so I must have missed it somewhere. There's 1 and 2. Maybe it's the clipping that's causing it. Let me look up. If it allows me, it doesn't allow me to go to the high. I think it's not clipping me to get the 2 hits off of these first 2 abilities. This Frenzy should be giving me 7. So let's see. Here's the 10. 7-1. So I definitely think that time it definitely worked out better. I think. Oh, I remember. Frenzy has. I call it a bug, but it might not be completely a bug. With Frenzy, like using the ability, you can't look at the animation because as soon as the animation's done, you would think, oh, you did your 7th hit, but you didn't because it's slow. So it's actually not registering that last hit somewhere that you kind of have to like take like a half second and then use outrage, and that's going to be your 10. That's going to be your number 10 hit. Right there. Nope. Well, it's a combo, so you are going to button smash. So as my girlfriend said, you don't button smash. Just kind of like half beat it a bit. I still missed it. We are definitely not doing that D. saw it happen on that ninth too. I need to count my buttons. Because it should be hitting X for the initial, and it should be 6 after, so 7 taps. So 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Oh shit. Ouch. I should have canceled that. I'm sorry. I should have canceled that. Nothing. I should have canceled. I died. I crashed. You know. The usual. Can you tell if you're gaining? A little bit. So when it comes to gaining on damage wise, I don't think I'll be able to look at it truthfully, because again, like when you see the damage down there, that 300,000 total, that's also including the damage being done to myself. That's not split. So the developers have already stated that they're going to have to take a look at the combat. I think the combat log to see if they can cut that part out from the damage done, so we can actually see what's the numbers for the 30 seconds while what I was actually doing, not what the amulet was doing to myself. I got a pizza. I can probably make that. I got pizzas in there. I just realized I did. No, I'm good. What do you want to get? Do you want to pull me out for yourself? Well, at least you got the leftover chicken. All right. Hi, Dex. I'm in my hits. I'm not sure what you mean by there, humbled. Sorry. What I'm basically looking at right here, just really quickly, was what was this Frenzy? Because Frenzy, again, I'm supposed to get a stack from the ability, and then 6 stacks from the 6 combos I'm doing with it. And the way I was supposed to go is number 2 gets 1, number 3 is 2 stacks, 5 gives me 7 stacks, so I'm at 9 stacks. So when I go to Outrage on number 1, that Outrage should be my 10th stack. And so Extra Measure and then the final Outrage both get the damage from the might buff. And then I can reset with Eviscerate and Chain. Which chicken? Yeah, refreeze it. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be in the mood again. Yeah, I need to make sure I actually use the bread. Yeah, I don't want to get all... She got me 2? Oh. Huh. Alright. You'll see the damage as you creep up. So with each stack, you get a might percentage up. So at 1 stack you get at 160 again. At 1 stack you get 2. 2 stacks is 4% might. At 5 stacks you get 10% buff. And then at 10 stacks, at max 10, you get that 20%. So it creeps up with you. But again, the more that you creep up, the more might you'll get, but the more damage your abilities are going to do to yourself. There's extra measure, and then so let me see here, because there was a lot going on. Because I see Outrage's extra measure. I think I clipped too early. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it's actually... Okay, yeah, so extra measure is the final one. Okay. So yeah, so that hit. Okay, so that hit. Perfect. Okay, good. Ooh. Fuck, time bomb. My goodness. With time bomb, actually no, time bomb you're gonna get capped. Yeah, that's gonna be capped as well. I would actually have to look at Quantum. I mean, again, it's another ability. It's another power that I may take a look. We're gonna try and cycle through on Saturday, to actually look at all the powers and see what we can come up with for loadouts. But with Time Bomb, I think that it's not going to do much about it. I don't think it's going to do anything. Yeah, it's a damage-based multiplier, and it's also capped. So you may be able to find like what the cap is with this thing, but I'm not 100% sure if we'll actually see any extra damage from it, to be honest. But I mean, that was exactly what you would think. Oh, it's a random thing. We don't even know. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, that's not a bad idea, because in 6 seconds, because that gives you a timer. Like, how many stacks can you get done in 6 seconds? Can you get to 10 stacks in 10 seconds? Shoot, even here on Rage, I mean, if I just spammed Frenzy, I could get there in less than 6. I mean, yeah, that's gonna. I mean, to do that for Quantum, you're gonna look for a lot of abilities that, a lot of abilities that might clip into themselves and such. So, you're looking for a lot of clipping, and you just gotta you gotta use 10 abilities in 6 seconds, and you can see you get the 20% might buff, and you'll see what it will do. But if you're not looking for the max 10 stacks, go for 5 or go for 8. It's whichever. I mean, I know when it comes to DPS, everybody's going to be pushing to get to that 10 stack, and then get to that 10 stack to get the maximum out of it, and then do their damage. Amulet Hill for 47,000. Yeah, go big or go home. That's right. But there's the thing. It's like you're gonna. There again. You have to be careful, because you got to use your finisher. You gotta have that finisher on hand to get your heals back. Just like you see right here, heal for 13, heal for 47. Of course, my finisher is a 2-hitter, so that's why I got 2 heals from it. I think it actually gives maybe 1 stack still. I don't think it gives 2 stacks of wound. Again, it's hard to see how many stacks you have because there's no visual indicator for it. I look for the HUD. I don't look for anything else. So the game does what it can. I married a healer. I'm gonna just blame her for my death. And sir, why are you here for divorce? Like, she's divorcing me. She's a bad healer. She's a bad healer. I said it. I said it, Judge. Is this just for single targets or for multiple? Sadly, I don't have a league haul, which I'll try and get that done this weekend. But I think it will work out for AoE just fine. Because, I mean, either way, when you do an ability, you're going to get a stack of might. So your might will be getting increased, so you'll do more damage. And the only single target about it is really the finisher, just so you can get healed. You know? So I think it'll work out for AoE, which of course we are going to try for AoE because I have my electric DPS. Electric is my AoE, so I'm going to go for it. So we'll that's exactly what we're going for. I want to try out the AoE and see how exactly it does, but I also want to wait for the developers to figure out how to split the damage when it comes to the combat log parsers, so we can make sure we're looking at the right numbers. Because if not, I have to do a full rotation for 30 seconds, and then go into the parser, look at the damage, do some math to split it, and I can actually see the numbers that I'm doing, which is just a lot of work. But before we go, so any last minute questions regarding the amulet? I know we worked on a lot here, and I really like that we have a nice little rage melee-ish loadout. Even when it comes to range, frenetic bombardment, like, we'll get there in no time. Absolutely get there in no time. All right, so if there's no questions, we're just gonna switch and go over to my tank Ember, which of course is again, this one's actually fire.